drag queen, well, perhaps you're gay. Is there a point to all these fancy clothes? With all these buckles from your head down to your toes. It's very simple, but I'm just another girl. It's not so easy, but I'm giving it a whirl. Is there something that you're trying to prove? With all the makeup and the way you move. Are you looking for some sympathy? No, I'm trying to be the best girl I can be. It's very simple, but I'm just another girl. It's not so easy, but I'm giving it a whirl. Like my martinis dry, cosmos I won't deny. Smoke those long cigarettes. Thank God I'm not dead yet. Done all these crazy things, short of a wedding ring. Just another girl.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Callista Solo, and you're watching nlcTrans. Tonight, I'm here with my dear friend and usual co-host, Tara Alexander. And we have our activities director with us tonight, Renee Benoit, and we have a very special guest, Samantha Gomes, who is with UCONN. She is a professor of gender and communication, which is very interesting, and I'm going to certainly ask you to explain to us exactly what that's all about. But we recently did a panel at your school and talked to some of your students, and that was a whole lot of fun, and we really enjoyed that. But what exactly is gender and communication? That's very interesting.
Well, the course is in the communication department, so it focuses a lot on interpersonal and mass communication. And the gender course specifically it does a little bit of both. So we look at the psychological aspects of gender, where does gender identity come from, how is it developed, and then we go on to look at how different genders are represented in the media, how men and women kind of speak to each other differently, use different types of gendered cues, and as part of that we do a transgendered experience unit to kind of talk about how different gender identities are expressed.
Interesting. Okay. So I get it. Now I sort of understand why we were there.
Yes.
But yeah, that's very cool. I'd actually sort of like to take that class.
It's a lot of fun. It's sometimes teaching it. I think I would like to take it too. And the students responded so well to the panel.
Yeah.
I got a lot of emails after you guys came in, just kind of thanking everybody, and they had a really good time.
That's so cool.
As you could probably tell by the amount of people that stayed after class to talk to you, they don't usually stay after class to talk that much to me.
Class is over, I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That is so cool. It was fun. We enjoy doing that, and we've been doing a lot of that of late. But certainly UCONN is a very cool place, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. But it was good.
It was.
And, yeah. Anyway, you also bake cakes, of course, which is
A professor and a baker.
Yeah.
Kelly has a fellow baker on set tonight.
I thought that was very interesting that in addition to teaching at UCONN, you bake cakes. It's very cool.
It's a mixed bag.
It is. And obviously you don't eat them. But that's my problem. I bake stuff and then I eat it.
I try to give it away as soon as possible.
I do that too, but people resist me now. People have learned that it's dangerous. It's like, somebody eat this before I get fat. But anyway, I thought that was very interesting that you teach at UCONN and you still have time to bake, which is very cool.
Yeah, I think when you're at any college campus, you need to do something in your spare time to avoid kind of going crazy.
Yeah. UCONN is very nice. I like UCONN. We had a really good time hanging out in the student center, wandering around. And after your class, we went and we kind of
explored.
We did a little bit.
Got some lunch
before they threw us off the campus.
Rainbow Center.
Student Union building.
Oh, and you visited the Rainbow Center
We
also.
did.
Yeah.
The
We
Rainbow
did.
Center at UCONN is fabulous. They have so many great resources there. I don't know if you visited their library.
We didn't.
They have a very impressive video library.
They do.
If you ever feel like a movie to watch.
We're actually going to be up there again. We are.
Sometime in the spring.
Yeah, in the spring we're supposed to be speaking at one of the Out to Lunch series.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have to go to that.
It was supposed some Wednesday in the spring is yet to be determined. We're supposed to participate in the Out to Lunch lecture series, and then that same Wednesday night do another panel.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Yeah, we
And
actually.
you will, I'm sure, be getting a call from me for my classes next semester.
Yeah. In fact, I think Stonewall, I believe, is coming to UConn in a couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Rainbow Center does an amazing panel series. They've a previous instructor of the same course that I teach brought Jenny Boylan in with the Rainbow Center
Wow.
to give a campus-wide talk that went over really well.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they do good stuff there.
Very cool. Anyway, so what kind of comments did you get from your students? I suppose I'm really kind of curious. But
We always are, because I mean, outside of trying to gauge the impact and trying to make future panels more engaging and helpful,
Yeah.
it's also really interesting to know where, as sort of the youth, the next generation, where their thought processes are headed. How they're taking the information and what they're doing with it.
I think that the biggest response I got from kind of both the panel and the unit as a whole is how relatable the subject is. A lot of the students, especially after you guys came in, were just like, oh, it's so much like kind of that normal human experience of
Right.
finding out who you are and coming to understand your identity. And I found a lot of people that kind of took that to heart and found that your experience is very relatable to their own lives. So I thought that was nice to see that kind of understanding. I could not believe how many students, they do a weekly journal to kind of write about their thoughts and things that they see in the media and things like that. And I was shocked after you guys came in how many students talked about transgendered members of their families or friends that they have kind of known from the outskirts but never really gotten to know.
Right.
More fully, and I think
By
it gave
opening
them,
up more?
yeah, it gave them a lot of better insight. A lot of people had said, that it kind of helped them understand the people they have in their lives that they kind of just didn't really get before.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
That's sort of one of the things that we hope for is that, I'm sorry, I'm still suffering from allergies, but that's one of the things that we hope for is that the students that we talk to will come away realizing that we're actually just human beings.
And not monsters.
And that we're not that different. We really aren't. We certainly have a slightly different set of problems. And, we have certainly interesting problems, but but we really aren't that different from anybody else in the general population. We're really not.
It seems like for maybe the first couple of days that we talk about the subject, I get a lot of people when I ask them what they think about it, they're like, I don't really know what I think, just because I've never met somebody like that before.
Right.
I've never experienced those issues before, so I don't even know how to think about those things. And then by the end, I get a lot of people who kind of come to relate the experience to the struggles that they themselves have gone through, whether it be, with some aspect of their identity or their sexual orientation or something. And it seems like at the end of the day, it's kind of the human experience as a whole is what they take out of it.
Sure.
I've had a lot of people very interested in the legal aspect of it also, and that seems to be one area that Renee is